Hey everybody, welcome back to the Author on Wheels podcast. We're officially back for season 3 and we have a few updates for you before we sit down with our guest. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and get ready for the season 3 premiere of the Author on Wheels podcast.
Johnny,
Michael, what's up, bro?
what's going on, brother?
Not much. Okay. Well, seems like we have a good connection. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly, bud.
Okay, good, because I've got an earpiece now. I'm using one of those little Bluetooth earpieces.
Yeah, me too. I'm wearing them in my ears right now as we speak, so.
Heck yeah, okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell myself to cut out the first 35 seconds of the episode, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Author on Wheels podcast. I'm your host, John Wood, author of A Fight to Survive, and this is season 3, episode number 3 of the Author on Wheels podcast. Today, I did not plan to do this episode at all. I actually was going to do an episode on the other podcast that I'm a host of, the Good Old Boys podcast, and I'm actually with one of the co-hosts of that podcast, Mr. Michael Haddad. And Michael, go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
How you doing, everybody? My name is Michael Haddad, and I'm one of John's buddies. As he said, I am one of the co-hosts on the Good Old Boys podcast, and I'm glad to be here today. I also have spina bifida like John, and I've heard some of his story, and I'm excited to buy his book. I want to get it so bad. I want to read his full story for sure.
It's a tearjerker.
Oh,
And
I
it's
believe
also
it.
a laugh inducer.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
But today, we're going to do something a little different on the Author on Wheels podcast, and we're going to discuss being thankful.
Uh-huh.
We had this whole script planned out on the other podcast. We were going to talk about our family traditions,
Mm-hmm.
Benny would kill me. We were going to talk about our family traditions. We're going to talk about our favorite Thanksgiving foods. Uh, Maybe we'll even discuss the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Uh-huh.
We'll figure it
Basically,
out as we go.
Yep.
But we're just family traditions, and before we go on, this is a little bit of a sore subject for me, as this is the first Thanksgiving without my parents. So if I get a little emotional, please understand that that's what's happening. And okay, without that, or with that, without
Without
that,
further ado,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Without further ado, and with that being said, Jesus, I cannot speak today. Without further ado, with that being said, let's go ahead and kind of just dovetail off, Michael.
Uh-huh.
What are some of your family traditions?
Well, I have a huge family, so we definitely get together and we do the normal Thanksgiving turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the whole nine. That's.
Oh man.
Am I making you hungry already, buddy?
My stomach just started rumbling like freaking Tornado. Thanks a heck of a lot.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh God. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we kind of, we used to do the same thing. We'd all get together at Grandma's house, and we'd all, sit around and, chew the fat.
Uh-huh.
And the thing about my dad's mom was she lived in a trailer, and I mean tiny as hell, like, and it wasn't accessible. You had to carry for years. You had to carry me up the front steps. And that was a pain in the ass when it was snowing.
Yeah, that is a pain, for sure.
But I remember we did that for years, and it worked out perfectly, except you had like 25 people in one trailer.
Yep.
Like, you're sitting here.
Yep.
You're sitting here, and it's like,
yeah,
maybe?
Uh-huh.
But I think it dovetailed off when Grandma had her life-altering stroke in 2017. Um, she had been in the hospital for now. This is oddly the weirdest thing. She was 96 when she, or no, was she? Don't even remember. She was up in her 90s, and she was hospitalized with yeah, she was 96. She was hospitalized with a stroke, or not a stroke, a kidney infection.
Yeesh.
And as she was being processed at the hospital, she had a stroke.
Ew. Double
A
whammy.
massive one. A massive one.
Yikes.
She was able to recover, and she went, obviously she had to have help, but she went back home, and she had another stroke. About a month later, she had another stroke, and by Thanksgiving, we kind of knew something was happening.
Uh,
So when we went for our normal holiday, our normal Thanksgiving,
uh-huh.
Grandma could barely get out of bed,
Oh, gosh.
and I'm the one in the family that does the blessing,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah.
So we had to pile 25 family members into Grandma's room just so I could do the blessing,
Uh-huh.
and that was hard.
Oh, of course. I imagine so. That's a tough situation, buddy.
And yeah, and not even 2 months later, she was gone.
Ah.
She died. She
Oh, my
died
gosh.
actually on January. She died on January 31st, 2018.
E.
Yeah,
That
that was a
is...
weird. That that was a weird first couple of days of February.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's a tearjerker, man. You got me freaking... You get a tear coming down my face, dude. That doesn't happen to me like that.
Yeah,
That don't happen to me like that, dude. Not when it's story time. Not when somebody's telling a story, but dang, man.
but when when that happened, we decided that it would be best that we do everything at one of my aunt's house.
Yep.
So my dad had two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They're still alive, obviously, even though
Yeah.
he's not.
Yep.
Geraldine and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
The first year that we had Thanksgiving after Grandma passed was at, I believe it was Aunt Geraldine's house. And here's a hashtag disability nightmare. Pulled up into the whatchamacallit?
Yep.
Pulled up into the alley to
Yeah.
go to her back door, and it's downstairs, down a hill.
Oops.
Poor sister
Yeah.
had to carry me down the back steps into the basement and up into the kitchen.
Oh
That was a pain in the
gosh.
butt.
That sounds like a pain.
Yeah. Well, it was not as bad when we went to Mary's last year
Uh-huh.
because Aunt Mary lives on a very nice little property,
Uh-huh.
and you could just pull up to her front door and put the wheelchair up on the front porch.
Yep.
And sorry, I'm freezing right now. I don't even have a jacket.
No, it's all good. It's all
Um,
good, buddy. Do your thing. Try to keep warm as much as you can. I know how it is.
yeah.
I know how
But
it is. I'm an East Coaster. It's cold here too. Don't
I
feel so bad.
forgot Rhode Islander here.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
an
my
East
ribs.
Coaster, bro.
My ribs.
I know cold.
Anyway, but last year I kind of knew something was wrong.
Uh-huh.
Both of us had just gotten over, I can't believe I'm saying it, COVID.
Yikes.
We had COVID in October for the
Uh-huh.
fifth time.
For the fifth time?
And
My gosh, dude.
yeah, thank God it's over. But
Yeah,
we had
but...
COVID, we got over it. We planned our Thanksgiving trip like
Uh-huh.
usual. And not to mention the year before, like last year,
Uh-huh.
or no, not last year, the year before last,
Yep.
we had engine trouble and our van croaked on us in the middle of Tennessee. like
Oh
150
no.
something miles away from where we're supposed to be. It
Oh
was a whole
no.
thing. We had to call a tow truck. Aunt and uncle had to come get us. It was a whole shit show.
Yikes, dude.
So we were sitting there, and last year we knew that something was wrong because both Dad and I had gotten sick
Mm-hmm.
with what we thought was just a upper respiratory infection.
Mm-hmm.
So
Of
Dad
course.
we didn't even think that we wanted to go and do family Thanksgiving because we were just both so damn sick.
Yep.
But we powered through. We got over to Aunt Mary's and we did the thing and we had the food and we, played the games, all that
Mm-hmm.
weird crap. And we went home Friday, that following Black Friday, which by
Yep.
the way, that's another thing in itself we'll discuss in a few minutes.
Yep.
We got home and everything was okay for, the rest of the year, 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christmas comes around and, I left to go spend Thanksgiving with my friend
Mm-hmm.
and I I felt guilty because I was leaving my family tradition
Mm-hmm.
to go start my own.
Understandable. I mean, everybody ventures off on their own every once in a while, but
And
that's usually how it is.
And keep in mind, Mike, this is the first time I ever did something like this in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here freaking the hell out thinking, oh God, am I going to do this right? Am I going to do this right? Am I going to do this right?
Yep.
And I did about 85 to 90% of it all correctly, except transportation is a bitch.
Oh, I believe it.
So I knew when I came home that I was never going to do something like that again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know why, because, well, Dad passed in July.
Yeah.
And coming up on these holidays this year is just like a memory of, it's almost like I'm being kicked in the mouth because I shouldn't have left last year.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like you said a minute ago, starting my own tradition.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You have that right to start your own traditions.
Exactly.
You
In fact,
eventually, huh?
I'll even say it like this. I
Yep.
cooked Christmas dinner for my family before I left on my trip. I
Yep.
didn't leave until like 2 days before Christmas, two or
Yeah.
3 days.
Yep.
I cooked them a turkey. I cooked them mashed potatoes. My mashed potato recipe. You can get my
Mm-hmm.
cookbook. Oh man, I did. I went all out. I didn't. I literally. I stayed in front of that stove and that oven for like 3 hours, going
Slaved.
back and forth between the crock pot and the oven. I'm just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, oh great, now I'm hungry for fried turkey. Dang gummit!
But
Give me some fried turkey, please.
the kitchen is one of your happy places. I can tell, huh?
If I could ever get back into it.
I understand. I hear you.
Everything is just all over the place. Anyway, but I mean, now it's just like we have these, you know, we have these traditions, and it's almost like that tradition is ruined because the patriarch of our family is gone, and we're forced to have to do it on our own.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good thing because new traditions get started, and then those
Yep.
traditions get better, and then those traditions dovetail into something else.
Exactly. That's usually how it goes. It leads into something
Oh,
better,
I
for
really
sure.
want some fried turkey now. God dang it. Forgive me,
Uh,
Michael.
hey, I didn't say fried turkey. You're the one that said fried turkey, buddy. So you can't
SOS and
blame
Mayday. Someone bring me fried turkey.
you can't blame that one on me, buddy.
It's okay. I'm going to Red Lobster on Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice,
But
nice. Hey, did you ever have this tradition of breaking the wishbone on the turkey?
no,
No.
never,
No?
never in my life. Nope.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
No. I've
What was that?
hold on. My earpiece says it needs charging. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to see if I can do this without disconnecting you from this call.
You're good. No worries.
All right, hold on, Michael. You still there?
I'm here.
Hold on 1 second, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how about this? How about I just do this? I'm just gonna go into my settings real quick. Give me 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Settings. Michael?
I'm here.
Okay, now I can see you. No, now I can hear you through my phone. Let me just turn you up a little bit. All
I
right.
was gonna say,
Yeah, I
I
know
was
you
gonna
just
say, I
briefed
hear
me.
you.
All right, sorry about that.
Really clear now.
A lot of editing to do in this
I hear
episode.
you really clear now.
What was I speaking about? Oh yeah, the wishbone. Yeah, never done the wishbone in my
Yeah.
life. It's been something I've wanted to do, but I've just never gotten a hold of a turkey wishbone.
Interesting.
I follow this guy on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Binging with Babish.
I saw
And
that.
I've been trying to get some of his recipes for years.
Yeah, I
And
saw that.
since it's like, I mean, if I were doing like if it was just like four of us,
Mm-hmm.
I'd just do a chicken instead of a turkey.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does. That's chicken.
Understandable.
But you do the same turkey prep with a chicken.
Yeah, it tastes the same.
Right, now we'll check
Pretty
the
much. Only I think turkey gets dried out faster and easier.
Yeah, it does. And I don't do dried. No.
Nah, I don't like dried meat. It's like, no, I gotta have moist meat for sure.
Right? Ew,
For
another
sure.
one of those words I don't like. Moist.
I'm sorry. Oops. Didn't mean to say that, buddy.
No. You're good. You're good. You're totally good.
I hear you.
I'm just gonna kill you later.
He'll get me back when we're talking one-on-one, just for the heck of it.
Yes, I will. Because you're
He
dead.
always does.
You're dead.
Hey, now what would God think about that one, buddy?
Yeah. But I mean, traditions are meant to be broken. Food is good,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about family.
True
And
that. Agreed.
let's end this interview or end this episode. What are you thankful for, Michael?
What am I thankful for, dude?
Yes.
I've been thankful for a lot of things lately because, let's see,
What? Michael. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said in the past couple of years I've had a lot of medical issues, but I'm still here. And
Heck yeah.
I've got my family. I've got a lot of things. I've got a new lady in my life. So, as you know, Mr. John.
Yeah, I do.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good things going on.
I actually am going to steal everything that you said because that's exactly how I feel. And if you have me arrested for stealing your ideas, I will kick your butt.
Nah, it's all good. You can
Good.
steal them all day long. You're one of my best friends, so.
I know that. Thank you, buddy.
No problemo, dude.
But with that being said, guys, that's the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd like to thank our guest, Michael Haddad, for joining us for Season 3, Episode 3 of the Author on Wheels podcast. Before we go, I'd like to impose a question. How are you telling your story? We all have a story to tell, and it's up to us to find our unique way of telling our story. Because as I always say, a story is only as good as the person telling it. So with that being said, thank you for listening, And from the Author on Wheels to yours, happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
all
Thanksgiving.
who listen to this podcast.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for having me, John. I appreciate it, buddy. This was a good experience.
You're welcome, buddy. See you soon, guys.
All right, you all have a good one.